Okay. Since we will be functioning as a group together, I'd like for us to connect as a group now and focus in on our heart centers. And we'll be creating the sign of the cross within a circle. Focusing in on the heart center and sending a grounding cord up. And connecting in with the Pleiades. And Arcturus. And Orion. And Betelgeuse. And Sirius. And these energies come and meet together in the center and create a gold line flowing down from the universe, from above, moving in through the out-of-body centers, coming and connecting with the 8th chakra above the head, and filling the 8th chakra, and illuminating your higher self. Focus in on your crown and bring the energy all the way into the body, in through the crown and down into the heart center. As it moves through the throat, it flows out like a waterfall, moving down over the arms and coming out through the center of the hands and through each fingertip. And while the heart is being filled with gold from above, we're focusing in on the heart center again and sending a grounding cord down into the center of the earth. And coming back up from the earth, moving in through point zero beneath the feet. It's a shimmering silver light from below as a gift from the earth, moving up through the feet, circulating through the ankles, flowing up through the front and the back channels of the calves, circulating through the knees, flowing up through the thighs, and washing directly into the pelvic cradle. Then this silver light begins to move into each internal organ. Then flows directly into the first chakra and gently flows up like the Nile River from the first into the heart center. And focusing on the heart center again, and sending a grounding cord out from the center of the heart simultaneously in both directions, to the left and to the right. a radiant, crystalline, soft pink of the Christ consciousness flowing out from the center to the left and to the right simultaneously. And moving to the outer edge of our circle and of our combined electromagnetic fields. A brilliant electric blue of the Shekinah, the Holy Spirit, moving in and bringing our circle even closer and closer together. And in the center of the room is a pillar of light, the Leoesh, that we may each tap into for communication or release. Take a breath into the pelvic cradle and breathe out. And open your eyes when you're ready. Great. Now, working with you as individuals is one thing, and then creating a safe space. Working with a group and creating a safe space is something else altogether. And for you to begin to integrate, being aware how we're working here together, what symbols and communications come forward to you, because you will be working with the group inside of you, just as I'm working with the group outside here externally. And I'll give you some tools to be able to open your hearts even more to who it is that you are as one person and as many. I'd like to offer you a symbol as a way of connecting and communicating with yourselves. And that is to see yourselves as that one person that knows all of those other parts of yourself and coordinates all of those parts of yourselves as being a circle. Alongside this circle are two straight lines, one representing the female and one representing the male. And for the basis of simplicity at the moment, to put 4 lines on a horizontal flow to represent 4 aspects of yourselves that you're familiar with. Your caretaker, the maid, the businesswoman, man, whatever. The one who embarrasses you or betrays you. might be the one who comes up as well. So within the structure of being this circle, you are responding as the male caretaker or the female, or the male businessman or the female businessman, or any other label that you would like to give to an aspect of yourselves, so that you see that you're continuously going back into a segment of becoming many, and you're continuously being one. There's one who knows everything. It's a rare experience that we get into that place of being one. It's a very gratifying experience when we sort of gathered up all those other little pieces of ourselves that seem to have just one more thing that they want to do, somewhere else they want to go. Sometimes you might want to ask, how old is that caretaker? How old is that business person? I started my first business. Hard to say. Let's see, I used to make pot holders and sell them to the neighbors. I made seashell jewelry. Had consignments with the beauty shop down the street, and all of that was long before I was 10. Started out on my first job, working when I was 13. So there's a lot of different ways that that business person comes in there. I enjoyed being in my grandfather's office. He was a realtor, and that was very fascinating to me, and I found myself as quite the business person being there. Look for those parts of yourselves, and very important to find out how old they are. The information that you have and that you've been working with may be ancient, and you might want to update some of it. Now, the reason that I ask some of you and forgot to ask others, but others followed through in various ways, stripes and all, to wear red this evening is because red is the color of the first chakra. This being the first class of a series of 8, we will be going through 8 energy centers, discussing them, working with them, feeling them, amongst other things, and familiarizing you with what it's like to be in the first chakra and what goes on in there and how you communicate with that space and all the different parts of you that are coming out. The first chakra is just so stimulating because this is where all of your lives, past, present, and future, are stored. This includes guides. All kinds of information comes to you from the first chakra, from the roots of yourselves. And the color red is a very wonderful life force red. Think about it. How often do you eat tomatoes or other kinds of red foods? What are you nurturing yourselves with? Look at the different kinds of energies that you're bringing forward as a result of connecting in with your first chakra. Even having an emotion, blushing or getting angry and turning red. It's bringing you back into something that you want to connect with there in the first chakra. Now, each class, as we go through this series, I'd like for you to either wear or bring something of that color. And the chakras go as the rainbows. First chakra is red, second chakra is orange, third chakra is yellow, the fourth chakra is green, fifth chakra is a light blue, sixth chakra is an indigo, seventh chakra is purple, and the eighth chakra is whatever color that you perceive that it is. and we'll see how many connect with that color, whatever it may be. So that this will give you a way of being able to integrate the communications that are coming to you, and to be aware of what kind of inner voice is speaking as a result of you connecting in with the first chakra or with any other energy center. As we go up the energy centers, there's just so much information. There's so many different ways that we are in communion with other people, with ourselves, with our light families, that to get a good ground base of creating a square and looking at that square energy of what are these four sides of yourselves, and that can be represented through those four horizontal lines, and what are the dualities of yourselves that can be represented either through salt and pepper or through male and female. The dualities, as we have been experiencing over the last few months, are dissolving. What has been visible is becoming invisible. What has been invisible is becoming visible. We're merging into one. We live in a many and one universe. And the concept of many in one is a very prime directive sort of experience for us to focus in on, especially in the first chakra. To see yourself as one, to see yourself as many. Now, my mode of communication changes with each one of you as I connect with you individually. In a group situation, it's interesting to watch myself merge and shift and move back and forth as I'm still playing. The same roles, the same parts of me are still coming out, but they're responding in perhaps briefer expressions than I would individually. Observe, excuse me, how you interact with yourselves. Who it is that you are when you're in the grocery store. How consistent are you? Consistency is a sign of intelligence. It allows you to connect in with a flow. It's like a river. It has some consistency. It's going to keep moving for you. Feeling that heart center as a radiating point in which you have your horizontal and your vertical lines connecting you always. Sometimes I'll recommend that you reconnect with a grounding focus every 4 hours, just as if you were taking penicillin. Because some days it gets that hairy. Some days you may be wanting to take your medicine a little bit more often, like every 2 hours or even every hour. It's a simple process to ground yourself and to connect in with who it is that you are in the morning before you get out of bed. Because the minute your feet hit the floor, there are all these other ideas, there are all of these other desires and needs and wants that appear before you get out of bed in the morning. Have a little communication with yourself. This body that you're in is a biotransducer subsystem computer. You need to boot it up, plug it in, turn it on, get it running every morning. And if you want the computer to get up and get out of bed with you in the morning, then you wake up. Sometimes I wake up with a smile on my face, sometimes I don't. But because I can connect in with me and take a breath And sometimes I massage the inner parts of my elbows, which is a colon point, which helps me to be able to release so that I have a good bowel movement in the morning. Because if I don't, I'm going to go out there, start communicating with people, and there's stuff that will be coming out if I haven't released myself. It's just as important as grounding to make sure that you're releasing the body, that you're preparing your own individual space to be clear and to have a routine. The body likes having routines. It likes feeling regular. And kind of gives you an idea that, there's something that you can rely on in your life. You. You are the most important person. Always. You can't make the chicken soup if you are not taking care of yourself. And all of those other parts of you that have those demands and ideas and wants, the only way you're going to be able to satisfy them is if you have a cohesive idea of who's there, how old they are, what kind of information they're running, and what you're going to do with it. If you're going to let the child come out and say, I want ice cream for breakfast, you go, well, ice cream might be all right today. I could start out that way and take a few bites. Maybe it's not really what you wanted. I used to say I was going to eat all the batter from cakes when I grew up, when my mom made cakes. Well, I don't eat all the batter. I've tried, but I've made some pretty small cakes. Information stored a long time ago, including dreams. Because the body is acting off of a lot of information from asleep and awake. It just gets in gear and starts going, says, okay, I'm going to be on automatic now for a while. How are you going to handle it? Who's the automatic pilot? Who runs that segment of yourself? Aren't you curious? Don't you want to know who it is that you are? And then have a little meeting with your family and get everybody together and ask them to cooperate. Because in the times that are coming for us in survival issues, which is again what the first chakra is all about, survival, having a community that cares about you, that knows you, that can see you, that can hear you, that can feel you, that can touch you, that can respond to you, that can honor you. As things shift in the world, having people that you can interconnect with telepathically really helps, because phone lines will go down, just as they happened with the hurricanes in Florida, and with the earthquakes that we've had here, and with tornadoes, and other kinds of so-called natural disasters. The normal modes of communication are not there. But if you've already set in place and have become familiar with what kind of information you have inside of yourself, and what kind of information and connections that you have with other people, then you are preparing yourself to be able to not go into fear and to be able to really be of service. In my personal experience, I've never seen the devastation or the chaos that some forecast. I think that's because I wasn't a Girl Scout, I was a Brownie. So I think that was kind of, I got that idea. It's like a squirrel, you know? You be prepared. You gather a few nuts. You learn how someone connects with you. You learn how it is with the friends and the other people that you know, how they respond when they're in survival. You know what survival means? Survival is a time when you're not really playing. Survival is rather serious. It's why the first chakra, when that you've ever hit your tailbone on something, it feels serious. If you've ever had hemorrhoids, you know that all roads lead to that area. Ever had any other kind of genital problems, you know that all of these connections down there, it's a real vital part of yourself. And being able to energize and work with red as a life force and have that flowing up through you, to be able to connect with that enables you to be able to breathe. And to breathe is to inspire yourself. And when inspiration comes, then there comes change. And change is a regular part of your life, and you're always changing. There are, at this moment, parts of you that are releasing. And remember, anything that you're releasing can become non-toxic waste. It doesn't have to harm you or anyone else because you let go. Letting go feels really good. I let go of something today that was a real choice for me. And I decided that in order for me not to be in survival where I couldn't play, that I could let go. Just this one thing that would ease me and allow me to not be quite so pressured. Think about that in the next 2 weeks. What is something in your life that causes you pressure? And what would you like to let go of? Because that pressure is something that can be activated like a geyser that goes off regularly, or it could be pressure like an earthquake that's going to shift on you at some point. Find some kind of pressure inside of yourselves and release it and see what it feels like and see how soon you bring that pressure back, because you may have gotten used to it. You may even have affinity for that pressure. It could be just a part of how you operate. But if you'd like to operate perhaps a little bit smoother, and you find that by releasing that, even if it's just for 1 minute, you can return to that experience of release and begin expanding so that you're releasing for 5 minutes, a half an hour, half a day, and see how you feel. Note that you can always bring that pressure or that desire or that problem back at any time that you want. But see how letting go enables you to feel. And then also note what are the things that cause it to return to you. If there's a habit that you've developed, what causes the habit to return? What things do you place in front of yourself in order to have that habit return? Because you're used to that stimulus. You want it to come back to you. You want something to make you angry. You want something to make you happy. One of the things that I discovered in the process of doing the biofeedback research for many years is that smiling or laughing changes your brainwave frequency to beta, so that at least puts you in an awake, alert, focusing mode. So if you've had 4 or 5 hours and you haven't smiled and you're not getting a whole lot done, you may be in alpha. You might be just a little bit spacey. You may not have checked your grounding cords recently. So get in the habit of smiling. Just changing just that much gives you a little bit of a shift and enables you to come into a place with yourself where you can kind of wake up and say, hello, I'm here. Whoops, where else am I? And then begin asking the children to come home or to check in with you if they've decided that they want to stay at the playground for a little while longer. Because the more familiar you become with who it is that you are, the more permission you can give yourself, the more freedom you can have. I have a lot of freedom, and I really like my life and my lifestyle. It wouldn't agree with a lot of people. Maybe it would. But it enables me to bring into my life a lot of joy. And joy is vital to me. It's what keeps me going. My mind, as some of you know, kind of goes in a variety of directions, and there are some things that some people wouldn't think very funny, but my mind shifts. And speaking of shifting, that's something else that occurs in the first chakra. Along with becoming another person. You might be shape-shifting and becoming an animal. So, as a part of what you're doing and with yourselves this next couple of weeks, I'd like for you to get in touch with what animal works with you there in your survival. What is the dominant animal that comes in to participate in how you make decisions? What are your primal energies that you're focusing on? Maybe an animal that you see every day, like a hummingbird, because you've put your hummingbird food outside your window, and you want to be connected with that gentleness and that extreme ability to move very fast. I had a conversation with a hummingbird a few months ago. It was exciting. He was standing there and just and looking straight at me. And as I looked right into his eyes, I knew that we were in the same space at the same time, that I was on an energy level going just as fast as his wings. And it was wonderful, just eyeball to eyeball, connecting with this hummingbird. Well, there is a system of animal cards, which I have a deck of here, and everyone could pull a card if you'd like to use that method of seeing what animals could be working with you this week. Or you might have an animal that you know is a part of you. I have a serpent that comes and connects with me. And I like that reptilian part of myself that kind of slithers along and gets a view of what's happening on a ground level. There's also a black jaguar that moves very fast, climbs up in trees, and has a real good time slinking around. Then on the other hand, it might not be a person or an animal. It might be a plant. And when you connect in with the plants and you communicate with their devas and you recognize it, I'm really centered into the lives of these plants. The tree outside my window. The tree outside my bedroom window when I was 6. Oh, gee, how long has it been since I've really made a friend with a tree or a bush? Or how long has it been since you've taken time to literally stop and smell the roses when you're on a walk? Say something like, plants like to be touched. They of course like water and other kinds of things, but they like being touched, just like we do. And the little devas that are in the plants, they might have something to say to you. That's real important, especially for your survival. And there are lots of little people that are around these plants and different places outside and inside. And I mean the little people like elves and fairies. Bigfoot isn't quite a little person, but he connects in with the little people. There are many kinds of life forms. The more familiar you can become with a variety of life forms, awakens you to how many life forms you have inside of yourself and why you might have had some difficulty in discovering who it is that you are. Just some of the clues that you find on the external level. Now, I like the system that Christ had, then that he set up 12 disciples outside of himself so that he had a way of looking at 12 aspects of himself that he recognized internally, externally. Here they were, and they went out there and they played all of these different roles, and he got to observe this, and he got to learn how to connect with that part of himself. Now, there are those parts of ourselves, as we call the Judas meridian, that betray or embarrass, hurt or harm ourselves. So you want to watch out for that part. Could even be considered a shadow part of yourselves. But again, it might be a part of your survival information that you learned in order to get attention in a group or privately. And remember, you're always working with the sequence of what happens as the many and one. You might embarrass yourself. That used to be a real regular way for me to get attention, because I could do a real good job. I could put something right on the edge and watch it fall over in a little while. I could belch really loudly if I was in a group. It wasn't the same. It wasn't as funny as when I was by myself. It didn't impress people the same as when I did it when I was 13 as when I was 33. How old you are, who's on, what life form is in charge, all of these things fit into a realm of survival information. Now there's another connection also, and that's with minerals, the rocks. I go somewhere where there are rocks, and I'm always got to bring a rock home. So I like to play with rocks. I've always loved them. Rocks are warm, and seashells, and other kinds of, but these have energy in them. There's life force energy in there. and they're connecting with us. Now, when crystals became in vogue a few years ago, I was really kind of hung back a little bit from that because I'd always liked my rocks and my shells, but people were taking this crystal stuff a little bit too far, I thought. And with any system, you can take it too far. It can just be... And people began to believe that there was power in a crystal, and that you had to have a certain one or a certain size in order to have it do this particular thing for you. You'll learn in the process. Ain't the size of the ship that makes you seasick, brother. It's the motion of the ocean. How big or how small depends on what your situation is. If I'm in an embarrassing situation, I like to become really small, because when I fall over, I don't have too far to go to the ground. If I've puffed myself up really big and I fall over, it hurts a lot more than it does if I'm just little and fall over. You can change your size, your shape, your form, your age, your dimension, and you can be in past, present, or future time. Now, one of the clues that you might want to watch for in the process of healing yourself is that all healing occurs in present time. So noticing that you're projecting your information out into the future, and you're trying to heal yourself in present time about something that you're worried about in the future, get your energy, get your flow, get your emotion in present time and heal the situation there. Then you can move smoothly into the future. Or when looking at the past and you're trying to focus on something that has gone awry, or positively in the past that you'd like to repeat or not, bring that forward into present time. Then there are spirits. Spirits communicate with us in a variety of ways. So along with having the rocks and the minerals and the plants and the animals and the people and all of those life forms, here comes your spirit guides and yourself and your spirit forms and your higher self. And all of this is communicating with you as well. Who is it that is dominant? Now, it doesn't really matter who's on top as long as you're in the game. So getting in touch with who it is that's there enables you to be able to resonate with your first chakra, with all of your lifetimes of information, and to have that energy center radiating as a flowing life force red. Then you can get your energy going, and the energy flows up and up and up into the body. I'd like to focus now for a moment, and maybe we'll shut this off for just a second, and thanks. That's okay. So where did your imaginations go?
Mine literally went outdoors.
Yeah? Okay. Is that a place that you usually go?
I guess. Yeah, it was big, expansive, and I really imagined it back to where there was no countries, when there was just out there, us out there on the plains, living life of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Big, expansive sky, lots of land, no barriers, no borders, no religion, politics, and tribes.
Yes. And we have that freedom and experience within ourselves. And it can be manifested externally again, because that's the direction that we're moving in. Where'd you go?
To the future.
To the future. Yeah.
Because you're right, we can manifest it again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be carrying it. It's exciting.
Did you go anywhere?
I went inside.
Huh? What you doing in there? Yeah? Good.
And there was nature around me. It felt open-ish.
Mm-hmm. Did you go anywhere? I saw you were gone.
Went to Whidbey Island outside of Seattle in the woods.
Yes.
Well, I took one look at the stars and
Yeah. Great.
I think I was talking to the rose diva.
Uh-huh.
I got into the rose and I saw this lovely fairy with, she was a lot like the candle. She had this lovely garment with
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like that candle too. It's quite a trip, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I never felt so grounded before, because no hell below us. That just took all the pressures off. Above us only sky, great, you know. Future, like Joan. And yes, this can happen. This is gonna happen. We're gonna live here in peace and just enjoy who we are. Like each other as individuals, and appreciate all our facets. Total freedom.
Yes.
Yes, it felt
Yes.
really, really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we all have this freedom. And from this place of survival, it doesn't have to be desperate or a place where we don't know how to play. There can be so much room to explore and experience and swim with the dolphins or whatever it is that we decide that we would like to do. Because we're not limited to this gravitational field. I'd like to use one of the 72 sacred names, Bath Kol, to call in the voice of the dove. That's what Bath Kol means. It's also known as the power activating the feminine side of creation. And as we all know, we have the male and female within all of us. But specifically, I chose this one because the dove is a symbol of peace, and there can be peace in our future. And as we begin in this root series right here in class number 1, we can focus in our future and right now in present time in experiencing peace. And that's a lot of what it is that I teach, is experience. And you will notice that there will be a lot of subtle things that will connect with you in the next 2 weeks. Some things will be real overt and just sort of, classically fall off the shelf from being the shelf shaman and connect right into you and say, "Hi, how you doing?" Wanted to have you notice me for a while. Have some mirrors around your house so that you're able to look in and see who it is that you are at that moment. Finding you. For this, if you would just close your eyes and allow the words to lead you and place you into connection with Beth Cole, the voice of the dove setting in motion the higher vehicle of language, activates the power of spiritual inspiration, spiritual understanding, and the still, small voice. Through opening the 8th chakra, it is possible to experience the voice of the dove through the sacred Holy of Holies, initiating the higher geometries of spiritual vision and supramental mind experiences. The return of the dove marks the work of the office of the Holy Spirit, Shekinah. Visualize upon the kether, or the crown, the dove descending with the grid of fusion. Visualize the vibratory dove over our heads as we see the grids of diamond-like creations. And remember the Diamond Sutras, the diamond vehicles used by the masters of the ancient East and West as our vehicle of ascension. As we begin to work with the supergeometries of the mind, we are activated by aligning this energy with our third eye, giving us the ability to go beyond our space and time through the ascent of the dove. O Bath Cole, how eloquent is thy inner voice within my tabernacle, which opens the listening, obedient attitude of my mind to receive and use your spiritual inspiration. Keeping your eyes closed for a moment, allow yourself to connect in with these geometries of light, and there within that diamond shape, let there come into form a symbol or an expression, some type of communication that you will be able to work with for the next 2 weeks. Let that energy come into the center of the diamond. As each one of you have gotten a representation, raise your hands. If nothing has come to you at this particular time, then create space for yourself in the next 24 hours to be able to go into meditation and connect with the diamond shape and allow a communication to come forward for you. This is your personal symbol or other mode of communication. Now take a breath all the way into your pelvic cradle and release. And open your eyes when you're ready. Imagine yourself being in those prehistoric times. And there was all of this stuff being shoved down deep into the earth. And it's just now that you've begun to dig into the earth, and that compacted stuff from long, long, long ago now has some value. There's a shape there. It's rough. It's you. You can pick it up and you can facet this diamond in any way that you choose. It's interesting leaving the door open. When it's so warm, perhaps next time I'll have a fan so we can breathe a little easier in here. But I just want circulation right now. Air. So you feel you have something there that's for you that you can work with? Okay. The first chakra, just put your hands in front of that space there and become familiar with your first chakra and where it is and how to feel it. How does the energy feel in that first chakra at this moment? Just spontaneously speak, anyone that has communication that you'd like to share.
It's strong.
Is that how you normally feel it?
No, I just had a really first chakra experience yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Real survival experience. I think that strengthened it a lot. I was in a freezing cold room and I had a hard time getting out of it. So I'm glad for that.
Yeah, good.
So, yeah, it's nice.
Anybody else noticing anything about their first chakras? Heat? Mm-hmm. Feel like a healthy heat? All the information that we gather, like the cold, the heat, to know when it's a healthy feeling, because sometimes it's healthy to feel cold. Sometimes it's healthy to feel warm. but we may have gotten programmed somewhere along the line that it's wrong to be cold, or it's wrong to be hot. Look and see who gave you that information and release it. Because on a spontaneous level, and again, being healthy is spontaneous, being able to shift. If someone who said they were going to call you doesn't call you, have something flexible that you can do. If you go to the store and they're out of tomatoes, something else that you could decide that you might like to eat. To create a sense of flexibility enables you to be more mobile, more ambulatory even. Gives you a lot more energy of this life force energy to flow with. Because you want to be able to come in and out of the first chakra and know that energy is releasing out there continuously, provided that you set your grounding in motion and that you're able to let the energy just flow right on out of your body and away from you. And the earth needs this. This is how the earth recycles that energy and has more energy to come back up to give you. So don't be stingy with what you're holding on to inside. Let it go. It's to be yours again. It'll come back. Now there are front and back channels to energy centers. So also reach around behind yourselves and feel, how does it feel back here in the behind the first chakra? Like, what is that like back there? Do you have shields back there on yourselves? Some way of protecting the energy, or is it just open? Are you more comfortable to the front or to the back with your flow of energy? Have you ever noticed a person that they just have beautiful energy? They just smile at you and they just everything's flowing, just but you notice their back channels because they push themselves into an appearance of energy moving in front of them. Have your energy flowing up the front and the back channels, because you are operating and people are sending you projections and communications to the front and to the back.
So have the energy come up the back, not down the back.
You're connecting with the energy flow itself. So the energy is flowing up and down, but the flow is the important aspect of this. Yes. So that it flows up and down. But if that flow isn't moving with you and it's stuck somewhere along those channels, then like T4 area, right behind the heart center, someone has literally stabbed you in the heart, in the back. And this is someone who doesn't have the guts to face you, to tell you how they feel about an experience that they've had in relationship to you, or how they heard something that they felt that you said. So that you're paying attention to your front and your back channels. The lower part of the body, getting in touch with your feet, and I would suggest connecting with someone and getting a foot massage in the next couple of weeks, because having all of those energy centers opening up for you enables those energies to come up through the center of the feet and flow up through the lower part of the body. A lot of us have had Tibetan lives or other kind of Eastern lives. We're sitting in a cross-legged position. A lot of attention was just focused right on just the first chakra, and the legs were kind of forgotten about. So you want to be able to have energy circulating through the lower half of the body. And touching yourself or having someone else touch you, it's a sense of what the difference is between the left and the right side of the body, and how the energy is going to flow up with you, and what's happening, which side of you feels the best or feels the strongest, or what's the muscular structure, and just feeling the energy being able to move up through the body and flowing out from the body to get connected with the different kinds of flows that you have inside of yourself. Now at that moment I was just breathing right into my heart center, increasing the flow both horizontally and vertically, so that I have more energy all together. Now begin to feel the energy moving up through your feet. And as the energy flows up through your feet, do you notice any place around your ankles or your calves or your knees where there's any tension? Coming on up into the thighs. What are you feeling? And letting that energy wash directly into the pelvic cradle. And giving you a good solid basis for being able to open and connect with many different lifetimes of experience, and to be able to work with yourself consciously and effectively and productively. Are you noticing anything in that lower half of your body to have that connected for you? Okay. It gives a lot more support to the first chakra. It feels that it has these legs that are going to be able to hold you and take you to that place that you want to go, even if it's across the room. Now you all have something that you can work with, a symbol that came to you in the center of the diamond. That diamond is also representative of a double helix, perhaps, or perhaps it's two triangles melting together. Now, just okay. I want to get some more energy flowing and move that energy right in a circle. Beautiful red life force band going all the way around, connecting in all of our first chakras together and feeling the flow of that energy as we're healing ourselves and feeling the interconnection of one chakra to another and life force red energy flowing all the way around the room in a circle. If this is something that feels comfortable to you with a group, then know that you can connect back into this particular moment at any time that you choose. If you notice that you feel more comfortable just running that energy for yourself, then that may be what you'd like to connect in with as an individual.
Just feeling it.
Just feeling it, yes. It is rather strong, and we do have a good, solid root base to be able to work with. And this is the beginning of your building. The pyramids were built from the inside out, and that's how we're reconstructing ourselves, from the inside out. The solidness that you can feel with your family, with a group. There are many kinds of families. I realize that sometimes there are trigger words that come out, and there are associations that we each have for words, like God or goddess or family or church or one religion or another or politics. See how those kinds of words touch you in the first chakra area. And again, whose imprint is in there that is dominant, that's running the show? And would you like to change? Would you like to shift over to have someone else take over a new role of communication about how you survive so that you can increase your sense of freedom to be even more fluid and flowing with yourselves and much, much stronger? Just as we have created within this group energy a very strong band of red life force energy, you can create that same kind of connection with yourselves, with all those different aspects of yourself, with the many facets of your diamonds as you'll begin to get in touch with that diamond energy. Some of you in the next couple of weeks may even see a UFO, because the diamond energy is one of the shapes that they come in, the Merkava vehicles, the light vehicles. I saw one just the other night.
Around here?
Yeah. Was in a garden, lying down after a hot tub with my daughter. And she looked up in the sky and she said, "Look, Mom, there's a falling star." Whoops, wait a minute. It's there, and then it's there. That wasn't a falling star. Oh, that was, well, actually, they prefer to be called high-frequency vehicles, because they're not unidentified flying objects. They know who they are. Begin to notice all the different kinds of communication that come to get your attention.
No UFOs coming in the window, huh?
We live in a many-in-one universe. We're not just here in this room right now. As individuals, we are also somewhere else. As a group, we're also somewhere else. A part of your experience will be for you to be able to decipher, to interpret. Where is it that you have been this evening? And who were you with? What were you doing? In the process of communication, it's relatively spontaneous. Things just sort of go on and on. But you can turn back to that communication at any time that you choose and take a look at it in some form and pull information out from it, just as you can as you're looking at a past life or at a future life, and pull that information forward to where you're able to use it in present time. Light gives you an expression of radiance that you can work with at any time. It also shows you that there is the dark, the black, the void, that you can also work with at any time that you choose. Because as you will discover, you're going to be able to create and destroy. And destroying is just as important as creating. We wouldn't have room to create everything if we didn't take a little piece of this, release it, the rest of it, take another little piece of something else, attach it to somewhere else. Look at how you're building all of the things that are coming into you. And from the very beginning, have your ground be solid. Now some of you may want to go off and bury a crystal in the ground and say that this is my new beginning. Some of you may want to plant a seed and wait for the seeds to grow. Some of you may want to get a new animal, a goldfish or a snake or something, as a way of connecting in with animals. Some of you may want to open up to a new spirit guide who's been trying to get your attention. But because you can choose to be conscious, enables you to open up even more. Exploring what it is that you read or what it is that you gather information from someone else is very valuable. But you'll also be learning how to read from your third eye. And the first chakra connects with the sixth chakra to create a 7 in balancing the above and below chakra centers. And 5 and 2 create a 7, and 3 and 4 create a 7. So that above and below have a way of connecting and honoring and working with each other. So as you're working with this first chakra, you'll also be simultaneously working with the sixth, although there won't be that much attention focused on that at this time, because we'll be building up towards that class. But always see that as a coordinating balance. 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4. It's how you're building your energy flow. Now, when you're in trouble in the first chakra, you can work with the sixth chakra to see what it is that's happening. When something is wrong with the sixth chakra, you can connect with your first chakra for information to see what it is that's happening. because it's going to be creating a balance. And this 777 vibration is going to connect you in with the Christ consciousness energy. So you have a universal mind flow of information that can be yours for any level of research that you choose. How curious are you? A lot of people get things out of books, and a lot of things are valuable from books. But I'd like for you to investigate what it is that you know. Because knowing is a very strong sense. The Kether, the crown, we're all building toward what it is that we know. I know that I can love myself. I don't always do every little bit that I can, but I know basically that I can. That's real good survival information, to know that I can love myself. I know that I can trust myself. Helps a lot in survival information. I know that I can create. What is it that you know about yourself? What kind of value do you place on what it is that you know? Never compare yourself to anyone else. You are you. You have specific gifts that are yours. No gift is any higher than any other gift. It's how you use it. I suspect that amongst these lives of information, that there's a lot of gifts in there that you received that you haven't even opened yet. It's kind of like that odd thing that you get at Christmas or for your birthday or from some other celebration or whatever that you stick away in the closet, or you decide that you're going to wrap it up or rewrap it and give it away to someone else. What gifts do you have that are yours? From this lifetime, from the past, or gifts that you expect that you're going to have in the future? What is it that you have that you will be able to work with consciously? In the next couple of weeks, you're going to notice that your dreams are going to be a little bit different, and you might want to keep a track of that and write them down. We have a full moon coming up on Saturday. You might want to look at how your energy is starting to peak towards the full moon. There might even be a particular part of your personality that comes out only once a month. Maybe twice a month. The new moon and the full moon. And that part of yourself might be your saboteur that has been ruining your life for all of these years. Because every time it hits that little vortex point, it goes, now, what can I do to undo all that you have done? Sometimes it's really pretty successful. The saboteur can be transformed into a savior. You can save yourselves.
Now I'm gonna write it down.
There's so many different ways. When we come back to class again, second chakra will be up, which is creativity and emotions, feelings. I'd like for you to have some way of validating for yourselves what kind of work you've been doing in the last 2 weeks that precedes that class. And see how you're doing with the first chakra. What is there that you want to focus on? What is there that you want to set aside? Because as we shift and we keep coming up the energy centers, there will be a tremendous amount of information, but having a real good, solid grounding. And I'm going very slow this evening, deliberately, and I'm being sort of light so that everything can be very solid. When you're thinking about the class later on, you might notice whether or not you were paying more attention to my hands or my face or to my voice, to give yourselves an idea as to what kind of entrainment level you were connecting with. Maybe you were connecting kinesthetically, auditorily, visually. As you're noticing this about yourself, you'll be noticing these things about other people. And again, it helps you work with that tight little family of who you've got inside of yourself and all of those parts of you that come out. And as someone comes out of yourself, make a note of it. You may want to make a written note, or you may want to make a mental note, some way of connecting in. And start focusing on colors and seeing different colors that people wear, seeing different colors that people eat, noticing what it is that you're naturally gravitated toward for yourself. All healing is done with color, which means that all healing is done with sound, because color and sound are connected together. So the auditory system, the visual system, the olfactory system, what you touch physically with your hands, what you sense, are some of the ways that you're connecting and communicating. List for yourselves how many different ways you are in communication. And you'll begin to see the myriad of expressions that are possible for you, and why, when you're communicating with someone else, they don't hear you, or they don't respond, or they don't see you. You can see how the information just going from here to there can get lost somewhere in the between. If you are seeing who it is that you are in relationship to who someone else is, not comparing or qualifying or judging, but just noticing what's happening in that space in between here and there. Now, in the center of this space, we have this pillar of light. And I've noticed a few times that there's been a little energy that's not going up and down the grounding cord or out this way, but it's going right on out there to just flow, just get right on out into the center. In your workspaces, in your home spaces, you can create for yourselves a pillar of light that will allow energy to flow up and away from you, and that you can note can be like a magnet to draw energy out, and to have kind of a centerfold of focusing away from you, because not all energy is appropriate to bring inside of yourselves. As a conscious medium, I occasionally will bring energy in just to let it pass through in the process of a reading in order to get a sense of what's happening with someone else. But I'm not letting it stay or holding, because I only want my energy inside of me. So do your good first chakra homework in getting in there and dusting, looking at all the different parts of these rooms on the first floor, the ground floor. And are you going to make it a basement? Or is it going to be the first floor that you walk in and out of? What kind of building are you going to have this whole tower of experience set on? And how will you accomplish being a soul who works in consciousness? Feeling your roots, feeling the energy coming up, feeling the energy coming in. Explore with yourselves as often as you can. And keep notes if you'd like. It shows you how effective you can be as a student. It shows you what level of curiosity you have and how much you want to know as to what kind of work you do in between now and 2 weeks from now. And what kind of peace you can create for yourselves in your heart centers as a result of just becoming familiar with who it is that you are already as one whole light being. We want to live together as a universe. Who can unconditionally love each other. It is possible. The more we experience that possibility inside of ourselves, the more real we make it to all of those that we touch. Speaking of touching, let's see if I can do this. We can come forward and touch each other. Yeah, oh good. Oh good. Huh? Okay, I'll be light. All right. Let the energy begin to flow out your left hand and to the right hand of the person next to you, of the bonding of love and universal life force energy. Feel the serenity and the safety and the security that each one of us are capable of building with ourselves and within a group. And let the energy now build so that it's stronger and stronger. And as the energy flows, not only through the hands, but up through the arms and across the shoulders, releasing energy around your necks and your upper arms and all of your bodies. And take a breath into the pelvic cradle and release. And know that you can return to this moment at any time that you choose. Now release your hands and then touch your own two hands together. And feel the flow of energy moving in through you. Now let's send some of this good, healing, warm, loving, caring energy right into this pillar of light here in the center of the room. Just lift your hands and let them send it right here into the center of the room. See it melting out. Yeah. Now, focus on sending love to one particular area of the world. And then name that area as we go around. Egypt.
California.
Middle East. China.
Oakland.
Brazil.
Washington, D.C. Florida.
Now release. In the process of healing yourselves, you'll notice that you're healing others and that you're healing the world. It's going to radiate out. And the more love that you can have for you, the more joy that you can have for you, the more joy and love that you're able to share with someone else. It can be a small space, it could be a large space. It doesn't really matter, because all space is important. All time is important. See how it is that you're filling your space and your time. And check in with your heart centers and how that feels to you. And love you. When you're in a first chakra situation, you're breaking new ground, you're opening doors, windows, new ways of seeing and being. And in that process, you're also remembering. Let the memories come up and be playful with them. And especially be playful amongst the stars. Would you reach over there? Would you reach down there? There's a, maybe Mary Beth can reach easier. Could you get that ball on the floor? Yeah. And this is a ball with the stars. It's like this is a ball over here of the stars. And sort of know that we're going to be connecting in with the stars this evening. And as a group, we will all be taking a journey this evening out of the body. Yeah. Yes. I think a fan will help. If it's still Indian summer warm like
Oh, it's
this.
nice.
Like this again. And after we've played with the ball for a moment, I'd like to shut things down and sort of get loose from this and turn out some lights and reconnect again around the circle.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
About Kundalini? Do you work with that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know very much about it, and I realized that today. And it's
Mm.
something that I've been curious about. Maybe I should read on it, or maybe I should take time.
My method of learning has been to find out what it is that I know about something first, just on an inner knowledge level. And I may make notes of that. Then I would go to external research. I find it valuable to look inner first because what you know, it's funny to see it in print. And then you go, oh,
I knew that.
I knew that. It helps build a lot of self-confidence, I find. I mean, I read occasionally, and most of my reading is done for reference kind of information stuff, like something I knew inside and didn't know that I knew it until someone asked me a question or I began to have some kind of focus on it. So you probably know a lot more about Kundalini than you realize. So getting in touch with what it is that you already know about Kundalini. And then what we're doing in here and we'll be building towards is an experience that will lead us beyond Kundalini, because we're not limited to just these 8 energy centers. There's a whole lot more for us to be able to flow with. Does anybody else have any questions? No? No. Oh,
But that was a good question.
thank you. Oh, I'm glad to know that we have very wise, intelligent people here who are capable of getting in touch with their own answers, and they don't have any questions at this time. That's good. That's good. Do I have any questions? Not at the moment. It means that we must be all touching some part of ourselves that can answer. And that's good. So, want to let go of this? Very soft. Low.